Hey Maroon Devil fans, this is Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devil Network, and I'm here with head football coach Neil Blankenship. So you guys took a really long trip last week. What are some positive things that came out of our first season win?
Well, one, we got a win. That's always the biggest positive we can take from a win's a win. The biggest thing we got probably is we got to do some special teams live and game situation stuff, so we were able to see those, which we didn't get to do in the scrimmage. Our kids got to play a whole game in some heat, so that tested them, conditioned them for the conditioning and where they're at and their cardio part. But we also found some things that we got to work on too. So that was a big thing for us, is we got to come back, watch the film, see what we need to work on. Our kids know that this week with our game, we're going to have to play better than we did last week to get a win with Smoky Mountain coming, because they've got a great football team. So, we've had a good first few days of practice, and we got another one here coming up. But, we got to find out what we need to work on a whole lot, and that was the biggest thing out of it. But we got a win out of it, and that's what we needed.
Okay, so early in the second quarter, senior Thomas Allen blocked a punt, and we recovered it in the red zone, which led to our first touchdown. So how was that change in momentum for us?
Well, it got us going. We'd got down the red zone, turned it over, and that hurt us on our drive there. But, when Thomas Allen recovered that, we got it back in the red zone pretty quick, and that gave us our first score there. So it kind of turned things around for us and got us on the board first, and I think that was big, being on the road. So, special teams play a big part, especially early in the season. Special teams play a big part in this game coming up Friday night. There'll be some big plays in special teams that we'll hope they'll be on our end, and just like the other night were. So we'll continue to work our special teams, but that was a big momentum shift for us.
This week we are hosting the Smoky Mountain Mustangs, and last year they beat us pretty bad. How riled up are our players, and has that really been a focal point in our practices?
Well, we had a team meeting Monday, and that's the first thing they heard, that score. They saw some film from last year, and so yes, it has been a focal point, and they've heard it several times through practice, that if we don't get better, the same thing is going to happen. So yeah, it has been a focal point, and we've been letting them know every day about that score and how bad it was. So yeah, we've used that as motivation and to get our players ready to go, and hopefully it works, because we don't want a repeat of that.
So what are you expecting from the Mustangs this year, and how important is it for our student and fan section to be riled up?
Well, the Mustangs are picked to win their conference, so they've got a real good football team returning. Their line is very good up front. They returned most of their line from last year. They have a flanker receiver that's very dangerous. Their back ran for 280 yards last week against Robbinsville. So we have work cut out for us. They are a very dangerous football team with those people in hand. And like I said, they're picked to win their conference, and they're in a tough conference, so they've got a good football team. We're at home. Home field advantage is important. We need our students, our fans, to be here and be riled up and back our team, because it's going to be a tough game all the way through, and home field advantage is important to us, and home field advantage has always been to our advantage when we play at home here at Swain. We've always had great crowds here, and we expect the same this week.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us, and good luck at this week's game against the Mustangs.
Thank you.
This has been Taylor Holt with the Maroon Devils Network, and stay tuned.